All right, what's up, guys? Don't mind my voice. I just woke up, so if I sound a little raspy, that's why. But I'm making this guide for the Immortal Castle for Rachel. Um, as you can see, I hit probably around 1.9. I could probably do two. I just had to change up some gear, but I'm gonna kind of just show you what the quick rotation looks like. So, and I'll kind of show you the gear. Pretty standard Ariel on a defense set. I don't even have her on a ring. I think the most important different change is going to be Biscuit. I have my Biscuit on an Avenger set um, with as much crit rate as possible that I can possibly get. This is because we're going to be using her T2 to clear the first wave. This way you at least have Rui's cooldowns by the time you get to turn 3. So put your Biscuit on the Avenger set. If you have this leveled up, great. If you don't, it's not necessary. You just want to make sure you have as much crit rate as possible. Lena, HP set. Ideally block rate is better, but it still works. Miho, standard. This isn't the best either because she gets the passive 18%. So you're probably looking at about 70 something around or so 80 plus the ring. And then this is where my Ruri at stands at T6. So um for skill Q, starting out you want to do the Biscuit T2 into Miho's T2 and then rotate into Lena's T2. And I'll kind of just show you guys what it looks like. All right, so starting out, Biscuit's going to use her T2. As long as they all crit, see, like that one didn't crit, which is why he didn't die. It does mess up the turn queue a bit. I would just make sure like you don't have an ability go off. If it doesn't, your basic should clear it, but ideally if it crits, it should kill. This isn't the greatest because then we wasted 2 turns, but it's okay. And as soon as you get in here, you want to pop. Lena wants to pop hers. From there, you can rotate into a Biscuit S1. Into Miho S1 for magic vulnerability. All right. And then from there, we're going to pop our Rui cooldowns. There we go. And obviously, your numbers are going to be subjective to your trans levels and everything. She's going to pop her S1 now. We're going to rotate back into Miho. That's my fault. I was gonna do the Biscuit S2 because I was actually curious to see if it did more damage. It doesn't. Okay, well, I was actually curious to see if it did more damage than this, considering that she's on defense gear. But either way, the damage on either of these abilities weren't gonna make the biggest difference. So we did a magic vulnerability again. We're now gonna go back into Rui's cooldowns. Like you want to try to use these off cooldowns as much as possible. And my Miho actually died. That's not ideal. Um, shit. Yeah. All right. So we have one try. Hopefully this is a good run. So when you come in here, you're going to pop your, Biscuits one's gonna go off. Um, that one not critting really messes things up. So you just want to make sure you don't end up using a second skill. You should finish at least be able to finish it off with basics, but that's why you want to try to get as much crit rate as possible. And I'm really getting shafted on this run because my Miho doesn't have the best crit rate either. Ideally, she's not T4. If I had her T4, that wouldn't be a problem because I would get the passive 18%. But this is actually like taking super long. So we have no choice but to pop that. This is ideally, that should have been 10 turns and under. Honestly, 5 turns and under if I just had the crit rate possible. On a good run, that normally hits better, but um So now we're just gonna pop our cooldowns, right? Biscuit. We're gonna apply magic vulnerability. All right, so Biscuit hit. Ruri hits. Now she's gonna go for her S1. All right, from there we'll go back into Miho S2. Now, depending, there might be a time. There's gonna be a time where we need to heal, depending. So I would just kind of watch the health bars of everybody on your team. Here we're just gonna do a Ariel S2 into S1 because everything else is on cooldown still. I know she applies that miss. I don't know if that actually works. If anybody's done any testing on that, I'm curious. So we're gonna apply magic vulnerability again. And then rotate into Ariel. Brewery. I said Ariel. I'm sorry. I just woke up and I'm recording this first thing in the morning before work. So now that's the part. Ideally, you're gonna probably want to heal before then, I'd imagine. So my Miho is really squishy. Obviously, once again, that's due to lack of trans levels. That wouldn't be the case normally. Or on a good run, she wouldn't get targeted and die. So you might want to heal just a little bit sooner. Yeah, this was a terrible run, and we missed out on a couple. But ideally, you get the idea for the skill rotations. I will record another video for next week with an updated one, just so I can show you a little better. I wish there was a practice mode so I can at least show you what a good run looks like. Ideally, instead of being out of tries. Like I said, I hit about 1.9 with the same exact team. Ideally it would have been 2, but she was on attack gear, so it also made a difference because she had died. So ideally, it really comes down to RNG. But if my Miho is T4 with the 18% passive crit rate, that'd be different. And if Biscuit had a little bit more crit rate, or if I had another crit rate ring that I could throw on her, the run would have been solid because then that one minion wouldn't have stayed alive at the beginning, and then Miho also would have been able to do more damage. So ideally, that's the run in a nutshell. That's ideally what I believe most people are using from what it looks like. I think the biggest thing is just like I said, the biscuit. Throw your biscuit on damage gear so she can clear the first wave. Ideally, Windy. If you have Windy, you can use it. I wish if my pet was T5, that'd be great too, because then I'd be able to roll for some bonuses. So you can see there's a little bit certain things where you can kind of squeeze in more damage, but ideally that's what it would look like. And then, as you progress, the run will just get better. So, yeah, I'll start posting these videos for each castle rush. So tomorrow I'll record one for whoever's next. And yeah, make sure you guys hit the follow button, and appreciate it.